Shout out to all you that be supporting the real. You dig? I'm Mr. One View, and I go through a lot with this thing in my eye. You dig? And I'm sick of wearing that eye patch. I'm supposed to wear it all the time, especially with that light on. You dig? But for the most part, it's about building with this information. A lot of y'all getting older, y'all got a lot of responsibilities. You have to be on your own, be in your own apartment. And also, you got your cell phone note, your car note, and whatever personal notes, and especially food, because you need food in order to function. But as older people, we're supposed to be building with you on stuff like that. And it's not happening. And I don't understand why. So you know what? I got y'all. Straight like that. Give me a few minutes. Rent. Because that's what a lot of us do. We rent. We don't own. And a lot of people who own, they own to rent. You didn't know that. They'll rent you out the house, different floors of the apartments, while they in the apartment stacking that dough. Listen to every word. You need this. So, when all of a sudden did rent become so expensive? First of all, your rent is not supposed to exceed 30% of your income. Did you know that? Of course you didn't. Because if y'all knew that, y'all would have had a rent protest years ago. Because for the past 20 to 25 years, it's been a rapid increase in rent. What made room for that? Programs, the Section 8, the JIGs, and things of that nature. Whatever FEPs and things of that nature, because I think that's one of those too. And what happened was the landlord couldn't accept the program unless they making the rent exceed whatever the funding is for the program. So they gave you excessive funding on a program that you didn't need. All you needed was assistance towards your rent. But they knew making that sky high number will have to make the landlords make your rent sky high in order to match the programs. But you know who suffer the most? Y'all hard workers that got a 9 to 5, that's getting up off your ass every day. Some of y'all got 2 jobs, maybe 3, just to supply what you need. And it makes no sense when we came from an era where the man of the house was the only one that had a job and provided for the whole family, even with 14 kids. Just think about that. While you struggling with 1, maybe 2 or 3. Just double think about that. And I'm gonna show you what made room for that. Those programs. On the fact that they have to match and exceed and say, yeah, we're still getting assistance, but you're still putting something on it. So they know, according to your public assistance and things of that nature, and you jumping up on a program like, oh shit, you're gonna give me $1,700 a month. Yeah. And now you rent $2,500 a month. When back then, you wasn't even paying $1,000 a month for a 3-bedroom. I don't want to hear shit about inflation. That's just not the truth. Because a $500 value in the 90s is probably in the 700s right now. Okay? So that's just not the case. The fact is, those programs is what's doing y'all hard workers dirty, because now you got to keep up with the people that's in the programs. When the fact is, rent is not supposed to exceed 30% of your income. In other words, it's just supposed to say for rent. not a fee, not a flat fee, and you going through the phone and you seeing, oh, this should say 2,500, 3,500, some of them should say 4,500. Now, let's break this down. You working, got one job, you're $20 an hour, right? You may not have dependents because you're a single person. Your $800 a week is taxed heavily the way you might see $550 to $600 out your check. So you say with the 600, 6, 12, 18, 24, and your rent is $2,800. And then say on top of that, that if you have someone else living with you, that your rent can increase according to their income. That's a setup. Y'all not supposed to go through that. Okay? Okay? Whoever living with you is living with you. Because when y'all go through something and then you kick them out, you think your rent gonna go lower because they left? It's a setup. Stop falling for the setup and listen to experience. Okay? Because $6, $12, $18, $2,400 a month, it's not going to do it. Because then how you going to pay for your phone note, your car note, and your food, and also clothing? And that's why y'all unnecessarily struggling. Mind you, you got people like where I'm at, shelter for the mentally ill, and they talk about because you're able-bodied, y'all will risk y'all companies and y'all corporations for people that are labeled bipolar disorder, paranoid schizophrenic, and things of that nature, just to say that you're an able-bodied worker. Stop being fools. Those are the ones that need the programs the most. Bigger than the ones with the children. That's right, I said it. Because even with you with the children, what you want to go through next, right? Which makes yours harder than a single person with those kind of mental illnesses because of the fact that if you go to work, you have to pay for child care. And with everything that go on, including family sometimes, you don't know who to trust. So now what? This is the confusion from lack of education of the stuff the older ones like myself supposed to be teaching y'all.
Has 47 arrests.